Hey guys, I've had this 8-gallon compressor connected to my laser for about 2 years. And you know, you're supposed to periodically drain the water that forms inside the compressor's tank every now and then to help prevent the inside of the tank from rusting. Well, I've never drained it once in 2 years, so I guess there's no better time than now to get it done. So I went ahead and unplugged the compressor from power, and then I disconnected the air hose that goes to the laser. I then wheeled the compressor into the garage, and I'm going to show you how easy it is to drain your compressor. Let's go. I placed the compressor on the workbench, and while moving it, I could hear the sloshing of water inside of my tank. So I'm going to go ahead and try to let you hear the water in the tank as well. So I placed my microphone underneath the compressor, and I tilted the tank from side to side. And this is what I heard. It's really hard to determine how much water is in there. So the only way to find out is to drain it. So you want to look at the bottom of your compressor's air tank and locate the drain valve. And since I can't easily fit my hand underneath the tank to open the valve, I'm going to go ahead and prop up both sides using some pieces of 4x4 posts. Doing this will allow my hand to easily fit underneath the tank. This is a better look at the valve from the back side. It has a small black handle that you can open and close. So now I want to release the pressure that is currently inside of the tank. The pressure gauge is currently reading about 90 psi. So now I slowly open the air cutoff valve to release the pressure. Once I am sure that all the air has been released from the tank, I get an old Tupperware container and I place it underneath the tank's drain valve. I now open the drain valve by turning the handle a quarter turn, which fully opens the valve. The water starts to slowly drain out of the tank into the container. It took over 2 minutes for all the water to completely drain out of the tank. At this point, you can consider your tank drained and close the drain valve and return your compressor to your laser. But me being stubborn, I closed the drain valve and air cutoff valve, and I connected the compressor to power and I turned it on. I wanted to fill the compressor with about 20 psi. I thought if I repeated the draining process with a little added pressure, this will help push out the remaining water droplets that are sticking to the inside of the tank. Once it reached 20 psi, I turned off the compressor. I slowly opened the drain valve, and for about the first 5 to 6 seconds, it was pushing out water, followed by just air, which was just splashing water inside of the container and making a total mess. But I do think it did push out more water. So I let the air totally drain out, I closed the drain valve, and then I did a little bit of cleanup. So now, I wanted to see how much water was in my compressor. So I grabbed a measuring cup and a bowl, and I started to pour the drained water into the measuring cup. And I stopped when I got to 16 ounces. I then poured that amount into the bowl. I then poured the remaining drained water into the measuring cup, and it measured 14 ounces. So I had a total of 30 ounces of water in my tank. That's a lot. In the future, I plan on draining my compressor more often by installing an automatic drain kit. That's going to make it super easy. Well, that's going to wrap up this video. Please like and subscribe, and see you next time. Adios.